The night was electric in downtown Las Vegas. The city shimmered with lights, sound, and the unstoppable pulse of energy that made the Strip feel alive. But inside a private underground training hall, the atmosphere was entirely different, quiet, focused, and heavy with tension. Steven Seagal stood in the far corner of the hall, calmly practicing slow, controlled movements. His hands glided through the air with precision, each motion purposeful. The man was a legend in Aikido, known for his effortless ability to redirect force, to use an opponent's aggression against them. On the other side of the room, Mike Tyson warmed up, his punches slicing through the air with terrifying speed. Every strike carried raw power, the kind that could knock a heavyweight unconscious with a single blow. His intensity filled the room like pressure before a storm. Tonight wasn't a tournament, it wasn't a show. It was a private, closed-door event, an elite gathering where masters tested their abilities not for fame or money, but for self-mastery. Welcome to Smile and Scars, where stories of power, discipline, and lessons carved through experience come alive. Tonight's story, a moment in time when two legends stood in the same room, and one mistake changed everything. Mike Tyson approached Seagal with his usual swagger, confident, powerful, and unfiltered. Tyson had always respected martial artists, but something about Seagal's calmness rubbed him the wrong way. It was as if Seagal wasn't impressed, wasn't intimidated, wasn't even paying attention. Tyson wiped sweat from his brow and smirked. "You really think that slow-motion stuff works on someone like me?" he asked, arms folded as he watched Seagal's fluid movements. Seagal didn't look up. "A storm doesn't intimidate the mountain," he replied quietly. "It only passes." Tyson frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" Seagal finally met his gaze. "Power is nothing without control, and control is something you still struggle with." Those words hit Tyson harder than any punch. His ego bristled, his veins heated, his pride, always ready to flare, rose like fire. "You think I'm not in control?" Tyson stepped closer, fists tightening. "You think you can handle me?" Seagal turned away calmly. "I don't need to handle you. Your anger handles you." The room fell silent. Trainers, fighters, and guests all stopped what they were doing. Everyone knew Tyson was quick to react, and Seagal was dangerously calm in confrontation. Tyson's jaw clenched. A storm was building inside him, the kind that blinded even the strongest fighters. "Say it again," he growled. Seagal shook his head. "Anger clouds judgment. It leads to regret." That last word, regret, pushed Tyson over the edge. Without warning, Tyson lunged forward with a lightning, fast right hook, the kind of punch that had dropped giants in the ring. It was instinctive, fueled by pride, not strategy. The air cracked around his fist as it flew toward Seagal's jaw. And then something unexpected happened. Seagal didn't flinch, he didn't tense, he didn't stiffen, he moved. It was so fast, so fluid, most people in the room didn't see it. One moment, Tyson's fist was inches from Seagal's face. The next moment, Seagal's body had rotated slightly, his hand brushing Tyson's wrist with the gentleness of a whisper. The punch missed, by a mile. Tyson stumbled forward, off balance, completely thrown off by how easily Seagal had avoided the attack. Seagal's voice was calm. "You strike without purpose. You let emotion guide you. That is why your fist will always fall short against calmness." Tyson, embarrassed, spun back around and threw a second punch, harder, faster. Again, Seagal redirected it with minimal effort, guiding Tyson's arm past him like water flowing around a stone. This time, Tyson tripped over his own momentum, skidding forward. The room gasped. Tyson wasn't used to missing. He wasn't used to being outmaneuvered, and he certainly wasn't used to feeling powerless. His pride was burning now. "Stop running," he yelled. "Fight me." Seagal took a slow breath. "If I fight you with anger, I become you. If I fight you with control, you learn." Tyson snapped. His fist launched forward again, straight into Seagal's open palm. Seagal caught the punch, caught it. Tyson's eyes widened in disbelief. Seagal held his fist like it was nothing more than a child's push. Tyson tried to pull away, but Seagal's grip tightened, firm but not painful. "You see," Seagal said softly, "your strength is great, but strength alone is not mastery." With a twist of his wrist and a shift of his stance, Seagal redirected Tyson's entire force. Tyson's feet lifted off the floor for a split second before he landed flat on his back with a heavy thud. Gasps exploded in the hall. Trainers rushed forward instinctively, but stopped when Seagal raised a single hand. Tyson groaned, stunned, not from pain, but from shock. He couldn't believe what had happened. His punch, his power, his legendary fist, caught like a toy. Seagal knelt beside him, voice steady. "This is why I warned you. Not every fight is won with fists. Some are won with patience." Tyson's eyes narrowed, anger still flickering, but beneath it, something deeper was forming. Respect, but that wasn't the end. Tyson stood up again, breathing harder, pride wounded. "I'm not done," he muttered. Seagal sighed. "You should be." Tyson shook his head. "No, I need to know. I need to understand how you did that." For the first time, Seagal's expression softened. "Then stop punching and start listening." But Tyson wasn't listening. The fire was still there, the anger still boiling, and that anger would lead to a mistake he'd regret instantly. He rushed forward again, faster, harder, more emotional than ever, and this time, Tyson wouldn't just miss. He would land a hit that would shock everyone, including himself. The moment that changed everything was coming, and Tyson would regret it the moment his fist made contact. Tyson's breath grew loud, hot, and heavy. Sweat slid down his temples as he squared his shoulders, eyes locked on Steven Seagal like a predator ready to strike. But inside, Tyson wasn't calm. He was spiraling. Pride, frustration, humiliation. It all churned inside him like a storm looking for someplace to land. And Seagal, he stood still. So still, he looked carved from stone. The crowd leaned in, half terrified, half amazed. Everyone knew Tyson's strength. Everyone knew Seagal's technique, but no one knew how far Tyson would go now that anger had fully taken over. "Mike, listen," Seagal said quietly. "This isn't how warriors learn." But Tyson wasn't hearing a single word. In a burst of fury, Tyson launched himself forward, fists blazing like thunderbolts. It wasn't a boxing match anymore. It was emotion exploding through muscle and bone. His first punch whistled through the air. Seagal slipped aside. The second redirected with a tap. The third parried like a leaf fluttering off a tree, but Tyson didn't stop. The ground trembled with each footstep. His fists came faster, harder, fueled by pure adrenaline. But Seagal moved like water, never resisting, never meeting force with force, always redirecting, always flowing. A spin, a shift, a glide. Tyson hit nothing but empty air again and again, feeling control slipping further and further away. His breath was ragged now, his arms burned, his vision blurred from frustration. "Relax your mind," Seagal said gently, "or your body will always betray you." "Shut up," Tyson roared, swinging a wild left hook. And then it happened. Tyson overextended just a hair, but enough to open a tiny gap, a window so small only a master could see it. Seagal stepped in. With a swift, precise motion, he placed a palm on Tyson's shoulder, used Tyson's own momentum, and guided him downward. Tyson's knee buckled, his balance vanished, he stumbled forward, and fell hard, face first. The room winced, a few gasped, someone muttered, "Oh damn." Tyson pushed himself up slowly, blood boiling hotter than ever. His pride wasn't just wounded, it was shattered. He glared at Seagal with fire in his eyes. "You did that on purpose." Seagal nodded calmly. "Yes, to stop you from hurting yourself." Tyson clenched his fists. "I'm not done." Seagal's voice grew firmer. "Mike, enough." But the Iron Mike Tyson from the ring, the kid from Brooklyn who fought for survival, who never backed down, rose back to the surface, and with a final burst of desperation, Tyson threw the punch. The punch everyone would remember. The punch that changed the room, changed the night, changed everything. His fist connected with Seagal's face. A loud, shocking crack echoed across the hall. The room froze. Seagal's head snapped sideways from the impact. He staggered one step, then another. Tyson looked stunned, almost horrified, as if he hadn't expected the punch to land. Seagal touched the corner of his lip, where a drop of blood formed. For the first time that night, Seagal's calm expression disappeared, the air changed instantly, the room felt heavier, colder, unpredictable. Tyson whispered, Steven. Seagal slowly lifted his gaze, and what Tyson saw in his eyes wasn't anger. It was disappointment. You lost control, Seagal said, voice low, and now, you will understand why that was a mistake. Tyson swallowed hard. Something inside him trembled, an instinctual fear he hadn't felt in years. Because Seagal wasn't moving slow anymore, he stepped forward, 1 step, 2 steps, 3. Every footfall was precise, deliberate, like a storm preparing to strike. Tyson backed up instinctively, haste, even, wait, but Seagal was done talking. In a blur, he grabbed Tyson's wrist. Tyson tried to pull away, he couldn't. Seagal's grip was steel. Then came the move. A twist, a pivot, a sweep of the leg. Tyson's entire body lifted off the floor and slammed onto the mat with a force that rattled the room. The breath exploded from his lungs. Before he could recover, Seagal had already moved, pinning Tyson's arm behind his back with expert precision. Tyson tried to struggle, instant pain shot up his shoulder. Yield, Seagal said calmly. Tyson groaned. I can't yield, Seagal repeated. Tyson's pride fought it, his ego resisted it, but his body couldn't escape. Finally, okay, I yield. Seagal released him immediately and stepped back, breathing steady, expression stern but controlled. Tyson rolled onto his back, staring at the ceiling, chest rising and falling rapidly. A long silence filled the room, then Seagal extended a hand. Tyson looked at it for a moment, surprised, confused, humbled, before he finally took it. Seagal helped him to his feet, his calm tone returning. You are powerful, Mike. No one doubts that. But without discipline, power destroys the one who holds it. Tyson nodded slowly, sweat dripping down his face. The fire in his eyes was gone, replaced by something new, respect. I wasn't thinking, Tyson admitted, I just reacted. I know, Seagal replied, that is why you regret the punch. Tyson looked away, ashamed. Yeah, I regret it. The room around them slowly relaxed, tension melting into murmurs and sighs of relief. Fighters stepped back to their routines, but all eyes remained subtly on the two legends. Tyson wiped his face, breathing still heavy. Steven, you gonna, hit me back again? Seagal cracked the first small smile of the night. No, you already learned the lesson. Tyson smirked weakly. Man, I never thought I'd get thrown like a rag doll. Seagal nodded. Most don't. Tyson chuckled. Guess I needed it. Seagal replied, you needed control, not humiliation. There's a difference. A deep silence settled between them as the weight of what happened fully sank in. Tyson understood now, not just the technique, not just the difference in style, but the deeper message Seagal had been trying to teach him from the beginning. Control is stronger than anger. Calm is sharper than rage. And sometimes the strongest punch is the one you never throw. But something unexpected was still coming, a twist neither of them saw coming. Because just when Tyson thought the lesson was over, someone else entered the training hall, someone with a history, someone with a grudge, someone who had turned the night upside down, and for the first time, Tyson and Seagal would have to stand on the same side. Together, the final showdown was about to begin. The training hall door swung open with a loud metallic creak, slicing through the heavy silence like a blade. Everyone turned. Tyson, still catching his breath, looked up. Seagal shifted his stance ever so slightly, subtle, but ready. In the doorway stood a man nobody expected to see. A tall, broad-shouldered fighter with a scar running across his cheek, cold eyes, and a smirk that hinted at trouble long before he spoke. His name was Viktor Dragovich, a well-known underground fighter, banned from multiple leagues, and someone who had lost painfully, and publicly, to Tyson years ago. Tonight, he wasn't smiling. So this is where the legends hide, Viktor said, stepping in with heavy boots echoing on the floor. Tyson's jaw tightened. What are you doing here, Viktor? Viktor stopped just a few feet away, glaring at Tyson with icy contempt. You think you embarrassed me once. I didn't forget. I never forget. The room stiffened. Fighters exchanged nervous glances. Seagal watched every movement, analyzing, reading Victor's intentions like an open book. Victor pointed at Tyson. "I heard you got dropped tonight." His eyes moved to Seagal. By him, Tyson clenched his fists but stayed quiet. Victor clicked his tongue, the great iron mic, humbled by an actor. The line crossed the limit. Tyson stepped forward, but Seagal placed a calm hand on his shoulder. "Don't," Seagal said quietly. "He wants chaos. Don't give it to him." Victor laughed. "Oh, I want more than chaos. I want respect. The kind you took from me." Tyson folded his arms. "Respect is earned, not demanded." Victor's smirk darkened. "Then let's earn it tonight." He dropped his bag. The sound echoed around the hall like a challenge shot into the sky. The crowd backed away instantly. Seagal stepped between Victor and Tyson, posture calm but unbreakable. "This is a training space, not a street corner. You won't start a fight here." Victor raised a brow. "Fight, no. I just want him to feel what you made him feel, humiliation." Tyson took a step forward. "You want round 2 with me, you can get it outside." But Victor didn't look at Tyson. He looked at Seagal. "And you." Victor said, "I'd love to see if your movie tricks work on me." Seagal's expression didn't change, but Tyson saw something flicker in his eyes. An old, quiet fire. "Steven," Tyson said, "he's not worth it." Seagal replied softly, "Everyone deserves a lesson, even those who don't want one." That was enough. Victor charged, fast, angry, full of brute force. He swung a massive right hook aimed straight at Seagal's jaw. Seagal moved at the last possible moment. Fluid, precise. Victor missed, and the momentum carried him forward off balance. Seagal simply tapped Victor's arm, redirected it, and guided him into the wall. But Victor was not Tyson. He wasn't controlled, he wasn't thoughtful, and he definitely wasn't going to back down. He turned with a wild growl and launched a barrage of heavy blows. Seagal dodged effortlessly. 1 step left, 1 step right, pivot, slide, glide. Every punch Victor threw became more desperate. "Stop running." Victor shouted. Seagal shook his head. "I'm not running. You're chasing." Tyson watched stunned. The entire room was silent except for the pounding rhythm of Victor's frustration crashing into Seagal's calm defenses. Victor charged again. Seagal ducked and swept his leg. Victor hit the floor hard. Tyson winced. Damn. Seagal didn't attack. He simply stood there, giving Victor a chance to get up. "Why don't you fight back?" Victor roared, getting to his feet, face red with rage. "Because you're already defeated," Seagal said. That made Victor snap. He lunged, grabbed a chair from the corner and swung it like a man swinging for revenge. The crowd gasped. Tyson shouted, "Hey, put that!" But it was too late. The chair came down toward Seagal's head, and then Seagal caught it. With one hand, the entire room froze, even Tyson's eyes widened. What the hell? Seagal held the chair in place, unmoving, as Victor strained with all his strength. It didn't budge, not an inch. Seagal whispered, "Lesson 1. Control." He twisted the chair sharply. Victor lost his grip. The chair flew out of his hands, and Seagal kicked it across the room where it clattered harmlessly to the floor. Victor stood there, breathing like an animal backed into a corner, sweat dripping down his temples, eyes blazing with disbelief. Seagal stepped closer. Victor swung again. Seagal caught his wrist, twisted gently. A pop sounded. Victor dropped to one knee with a scream. Tyson flinched at the sound. The crowd stepped back further. Seagal locked Victor's wrist, immobilizing him completely. Lesson 2. Seagal said softly, "Humility." Victor struggled, groaned, resisted, but it was useless. Seagal applied just enough pressure to make the point. Victor cried out, "Okay, okay, stop." Seagal let go instantly and stepped back. Victor fell forward, clutching his wrist, panting, defeated. Tyson walked up slowly. "You good now, tough guy?" Victor looked up at Tyson, anger gone, pride shattered. I shouldn't have come." Tyson crouched to eye level. "No kidding." Seagal added, "Walk away, learn something, or this wasn't just a mistake. It was a waste." Victor nodded shakily and stood up, humbled in front of every fighter in the room. Without another word, he staggered out the door, a different man than the one who had entered. Silence hung for a moment. Then Tyson exhaled and turned to Seagal. "Man, Steven, remind me never to get you mad again." Seagal smiled faintly. "You won't, you learned." Tyson smirked. "Yeah, and I regret that punch more than ever." Seagal placed a hand on his shoulder. "Regret is good. It means you grew." Tyson nodded slowly. "We good?" "Yes, Mike," Seagal replied. "We're good." The tension finally melted into relief. Fighters clapped. Some cheered. The hall buzzed with energy again. Tyson and Seagal stood side by side, a boxer with unmatched power, a martial artist with unmatched control. Two legends who had clashed, learned, and now respected each other more deeply than ever. Tyson extended his fist. Seagal bumped it lightly, and the night that began with a fight ended with understanding and a bond forged through pain, humility, and strength. The kind of bond only true warriors ever know.